Okay everyone, we're back this time as promised with a review of Starscream, probably my favorite character from the Armada series, which I suppose really isn't saying a lot since he's pretty much my favorite character from any series, but this one just stood out because I remember watching it back when I was little and I just this is the bad guy that you feel bad for. He's always getting bad-mouthed by his fellow Decepticons. Megatron has pretty much no respect for him. He's always like, wow, Starscream, you're useless. Why would you do something so stupid? And he's always trying to plot him to get him killed, because I think he actually sees Starscream as a threat. He knows that he could take over the Decepticons, but he just doesn't want it to happen, and he doesn't want to show it either. So he always badmouths him, and is always plotting. Although, of course, when Starscream finds out, he goes crazy, takes the Starscraper, and pretty much destroys the entire Decepticon base. But anyway. Yeah, I bought this toy about a year and a half, well, it was last summer, I'd say. So about a year and a half ago, I'd say. And I got him for about $40, I think. It was fair pricing. I mean, he's probably not worth that much, but I was just totally psyched with Starscream. I had to have him, and I'd probably pay this for it again if I didn't have him, just because I like Starscream so much. But anyways, on to the vehicle mode. So, he looks, he got pretty aerodynamic wings, these engines here. I mean, he looks like he could probably get off the ground. Yeah, just a few shots there. We got fins, we got, once again, this pretty much the same colors as Galaxy Force Starscream. We got this whitish gray, the red, and the black. Anyways, I'll take the swindle off real quick. And from pretty much any angle, he looks good. He's a pretty cool jet, but then you take it to the side like this, and you have this just a sleek nose and this brick on the back here. Big, heavy piece of mechanics with this nose. It doesn't really look, with swindle attached, it doesn't look as bad, but I still just kind of think it looks a little goofy. And on top of that, the nose seems to be sort of pointing downward, he's he's trying to do that, when I know he's not. But anyways, yeah, his vehicle mode, I'd say, is better than his robot mode. If you're just setting this up on your display stand or something, he looks really cool. He's a pretty Cybertronian / human looking jet. He is a mix of both. He's got the fins and the wings and the nose of humans, but then you got these big cannons and these just different design, I'd say. And just looking at him, not a whole lot of robot kibble is shown here. Disregard this fire alarm. This goes off sometimes. We're going to get it fixed, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Not a whole lot of robot mode kibble is revealed. If you're perceptive enough, you can tell these are the legs, these are the arms, but don't view it that way, and he won't be. You could tell this is, once again, with Galaxy Force Starscream, we can see the top of his head. There's no panel covering it or anything, but that's not bad. So transformation is pretty basic. You could probably figure this out if you just got him without the instructions. You fold the arms out, extend them. You're going to flick out the wrists. And you can already tell, these fists are kind of puny. And oh great, that's not a good sign. And then we're going to go down here, we're going to flip this section out, and we're just going to go ahead and just right off the bat twist these so they're facing like that. Fold out the legs just so they're straight and parallel. Flip the bottom sections of the feet. These are actually really useful. I don't think you'd be able to stand up if you didn't have these, but take this part, move this up, snap this like so. Oh wait, hang on, we gotta get the wings. The wings will fold in like this. Nose goes down, snap, and there he is. In all of his Starscream glory, I guess, if you want to call it that. He is, just looking at him, you can, okay, he's pretty okay, or I actually call him good. Just looking at him, doesn't have any visible flaws unless you tilt him sideways, and yeah, This is always a shock for people who just, like, haven't seen him in the show and they just get the toy and they're like, oh, this guy's gonna be great, and then, oh my god, what is this piece of metal doing hanging off the back? I mean, I feel bad for this guy. He's got to walk around his entire life like, ugh. Like, he's got, it's sort of like, I don't know, Kronos from God of War. He's got this giant thing just, like, stuck to his back that he can't get off. It plays into his gimmick, but it still looks a little ridiculous. His face, you got your typical little Starscream smirk with the little not too wide of eyes. So that's okay. The head's okay. I mean, they could probably put... Starscream typically tends to be more sullen and angry in the Armada series instead of all smirky and, oh, I'm so smug and stuff, like you see in, like, G1. And so we'll jump to articulation real quick. The arms, they're pretty good. They'll go up right about this far and then out and around, so it's pretty good, but it can go up. It's like he's trying to throw salt over his shoulder or something. I mean, if these little red fins could, like, rotate, that'd be really nice. It would make him look a lot... I think it would make the figure a lot better. Anyways, we got legs. Oh, real quick, the detail, once again, is really good. We have little panels and, like, little battle damage and gears and, like, all the little Transformer stuff that you'd like to see on a Transformer. As for legs, the legs are pretty good. They'll go up, not too far up, only that far, because of the nose. And they'll come back down. They bend really well at the knee and they twist out, but they cannot go out. This was like my biggest disappointment when I got this toy. His legs could not go out. This reduces posability. It reduces the figure's fun factor. And just, I wish they could have done something about that. It wouldn't have been that hard, but that was just a big problem for me. I might be overreacting, but that's just something I didn't like. We'll get to his... This is, I don't know if you call this a gimmick, but it's his weapon, which is his sword. You snap it off, you fold it out, and you stick it in his hand. It looks kind of goofy. I mean, if you remember in the anime, it would sometimes be metal, but most of the time it'd be like Darth Vader's lightsaber or something. It'd be translucent. There it goes again. Sorry about that. Anyways, it just looks kind of funny. I mean, it really is quite huge for a sword. It doesn't really look right in his tiny little fist. I mean, he can swing it pretty well, but if you swing it too hard, it'll, like, start to bend and stuff, because it's not really well put together here. The joints, I mean, they don't snap into place or anything. So that's kind of a bummer. But anyways, yeah, the sword's okay, just like the rest of this figure. Let's put that back. And right before I get to his gimmick, which involves... Oh, and by the way, he has noises. I could not get the batteries for this. I probably could, but I just never really bothered to. It would make like a laser noise if you push down on the cone, and if you do his gimmick, it'll make some more laser firing noises, but I'm not gonna... I've never bothered to get batteries for that. Don't ask me why. I just never really felt like it. Didn't think they were necessary. So we have Swindle. I mean, this is a decent looking race car. It's a nice minicon. That's the thing with minicons. You'll have a really nice little vehicle mode, and then the robot mode will tend to really suck balls. You'll fold this little black part out. You'll take out his enormous wheel shoulders. You will snap his legs apart. I mean, it's not fair that he can pull his legs apart and Starscream can't. He can't do anything else with his legs. They can't go out. They can't bend at the knees. They just go out. And he can't. That's just really stupid if you ask me. Kind of ironic. You snap that down. And he's not a bad minicon. I mean, I've seen better, but wow, I've seen much worse too. He looks like he could probably walk around if he had knee joints or ankle joints, but yeah, he's an okay minicon. Which is an apt description of his entire figure. And now, to activate his gimmick, you will take Swindle, you will plug him into the little switch back here, you push it down, and cannons pop forward. Now, it still looks kind of kibbly. I mean, like, wow, he's like a walking battleship or something, but they fire pretty well. I mean, these are really good for, like, say, just like Armada. I'll just shoot these real quick. They fire well enough so they don't fall behind that gap in my stand here, but yeah, they're better than the blaster on Galaxy Force Starscream I just reviewed. That thing didn't work all too well. Put those back in. Take Swindle out. Snap the cannons back. Now I'm trying to think if I missed anything. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, and just if you're posing him, he looks nice. I mean, he just looks, wow. It's just Starscream. Okay, he's cool. He knows he's cool. Even though he's not, doesn't act that cool in the show. But if you can find this guy for reasonable price, I mean, I'm not saying go out and spend like 60 bucks on this thing. He's not worth that much. But if you're a huge Starscream fan and you had to have this figure, or if you're just a big collector, I'd do my best to try and pick this one up. He's kind of just, at least for the Armada line, a good toy to have. And yeah, he's on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give him like maybe a 6 or a 7. Mostly just because he's one of my favorite characters of like all time. I just love this guy so much. Yeah, he's a really decent figure. I mean, just pick him up if you see him for, yeah, as I said, moderately priced. So that's pretty much it. I'm thinking about, I still have Masterpiece Ghost Starscream on the line, but I want to get a Revenge of the Fallen figure in. Maybe Leader Optimus Prime or Human Alliance Bumblebee, but yeah, that was the review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.